Hey, it's Mr. John at the Decatur Public Library, and I'm in front of our Folktale Friday display. If you've been watching our Folktale Friday videos, you can find here lots of the books that represent those stories that we have been telling. For example, last Friday, Miss Susan told us, with the help of Ella the Tortoise at the Scoville Zoo, the story of the tortoise and the hare. And as you remember, the story of the tortoise and the hare is a fable. Now, a fable, as we've said before, is a story that has a lesson to it, a moral, something that the storyteller wants us to learn. And often at the end of the fable, the storyteller will tell us the moral of the story is, and in the case of the tortoise and the hare, the moral of the story is, like the tortoise did, slow and steady wins the race. But the lesson that you get from a fable sometimes depends upon what people think is important in the country where the fable comes from. For example, I want to tell you a fable that sounds a lot like the tortoise and the hare, but this one happens to come from Africa. It's a fable from the country of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and it's told by the Babali people who live in the northwestern corner of that country. Now, we don't have this story in a book. I know it because some friends of mine who used to live there told it to me. The story goes like this. It's about an elephant who one day challenged a snail to a race. Now, that sounds a lot like the tortoise and the hare, doesn't it? Let's see how it goes forward. So the elephant thought that he could easily win the race against the snail being so slow, so he took off on the race down the jungle trail. And he trotted along very fast, and he figured after a little while, well, I must be well ahead of the snail. And here was a river right ahead of him, and he was very thirsty, so he took a big drink of water with his trunk. And then he decided, oh my goodness, I have to go to the bathroom. And he was getting ready to go to the bathroom, but then he looked, and there suddenly was Snail. And he thought, oh my goodness, I don't have time to go to the bathroom right now. I'd better hurry. So he trots along down the trail some more, and he trots and he trots and he trots. And soon he's really getting tired, and he has to go to the bathroom really bad now. So he thinks, surely I must be way ahead of this snail by now. So he gets ready to go to the bathroom, but he looks, and there ahead on the trail is Snail. So, no time to go to the bathroom right now. Ahead he goes, and he keeps on going on at a very fast pace down the trail through the jungle. And finally, he's so tired, and he has to go to the bathroom so bad, he just has to stop. And he thinks he can at least take a break now to go to the bathroom, but he looks, and ahead of him is Snail. Oh no, he can't stop now either. And he hurries along, and finally he just collapses on the road. And the moral of the story is, it pays to have family. Now, you may be scratching your head and thinking, well, that doesn't make any sense. It pays to have family. Now, if you lived in Africa, you might understand it right away. Because if you listened closely when I told the story, I never said that he saw the same snail each time he stopped. The jungle is full of snails. They're all over the place. Snail has a very big family. And in Africa, it's very important to people that you know who your family is and that your family help each other out. And so when that story of the elephant and the snail is told in Africa, the moral of the story is it's important to depend on your family. So the lesson that you get from a fable may depend on what people think is important in the country where the fable comes from. So that's something to think about whenever you hear a folk tale that is a fable. And we'll see you again at the Decatur Public Library for our next Folk Tale Friday.